Hello everyone, this is Zagany333, and today we're here for another disturbing film. This one is the French revenge horror drama movie, Martyrs. It is from 2008, it is an hour and 43 minutes long, and yeah, there's no trivia today. But what's this movie about? Well, this film is about a girl named Lucy. It's about a girl named Lucy who's basically abducted, held captive, and abused, and basically ends up escaping and basically finds a friend at the orphanage that she ends up living at named Anna. And 15 years later, decides to track down the people who held her captive and basically get revenge for it. So yeah, it's a revenge film. But let me get into a couple things before we immediately probably get into spoilers and stuff. So, the first thing that I'll say here is that the beginning, it's another movie that opens up with things from the get-go. It's a really sad, chilling opening because you basically see Lucy, like I said, held captive and being tormented and escaping that captivity and stuff. And it's just the way that that whole scene is handled is a very chilling scene. I just remember when I first viewed it and, the subsequent, viewings that I've had afterwards, it's always been a scene that's always chilled me anyways, gave me chills with the way it was handled and shot and everything. It's just really fucked up. Yeah, so that kind of lends to that disturbing, quality and stuff that this film's known for. But, yeah, Lucy's abused, and then Anna is at the orphanage. So that's another thing I covered here. Let me see here. Because, yeah, I may have to... okay, one thing I can mention is that there's also a sort of apparition that sort of haunts Lucy in the film. I can mention that. I mean, ain't much of a spoiler thing. But that, in particular, is pretty creepy. I'd say was handled pretty well. It has sort of qualities that remind me of things like The Grudge and stuff. So I feel like those scenes are handled pretty well and kind of go more towards that horror part. Because, yeah, basically the abuse that she endured when she was a child was such of a degree that it basically damaged her psyche lifelong and held, lasting effects and stuff. And that's what I'd say a big theme of this movie kind of is let me see in my notes so I can explain it a little bit better here. Yeah, it kind of, at least to me, seems to focus on trauma and its lasting effects through a person's life. What it does to a person, what it does to their psyche, having a lack of being able to kind of escape and get away from that in a way, like I said, lifelong ramifications for those kinds of things and what it does to a person. And, can cause things like delusions, like you see Lucy suffer here, and other things like that. But let me see if there's any other notes that I can get to. And I don't believe there really is. So, I guess I'll answer this question before giving its rating and then go into the spoilers. Is this movie disturbing because it is on disturbing lists? Well, this is what I'll say. I feel like it is disturbing, not so much compared to a lot of others on disturbing lists. But what gives this movie its slight disturbing edge, that gives it the edge that would, to me, sort of qualify it as being a disturbing film, is the overwhelming sense of cruelty. That's what I would say. It's this, it's a complete lack of anything but cruelty. Because, when you see Lucy in that captivity, when you see other things later on and stuff, it's just, that's really the biggest thing to sum it up, is just there's cruelty throughout this whole film, and there's just no reprieve, there's no break from that. It's all just, it's an incredibly cruel display of, cruelty. That's basically what it is. So, that out of the way, I will give this movie a rating of 7. It's a good film. It's not like an amazing, mind-blowing, great film, but it's a good one. It's got some really cool, action scenes kind of in there a little bit. The, style it has and stuff like that. The story's well told and everything else. So I'd say it's a decent one. It's a good one. If you're wanting something that's not, way, way crazy disturbing, but something that's at least going to have that edge to it and be pretty intense. And this one would be for you, I would say. Uh, but yeah, so now I guess we have to go into spoilers. So for everybody who actually wants to go and watch this film, adios, see ya. And now let's go into fucking spoilers. So, the one thing I'll say, and probably one of my favorite scenes, is when she's actually getting her revenge. Because in the beginning, pretty much almost fucking immediately, it's an intense, merciless revenge in this beginning of the film. She basically just comes right in and just executes the entire family in minutes. And, let me see. I'm sorry. I'm checking my notes and shit here. But yeah, I mean, to me, I liked that scene just because the way it was handled. It was almost like, the cruelty that she had been shown, she repaid that. You see her pretty much come in and be just as cruel, and it's just, it has that satisfying kind of thing that a lot of revenge films do, that quality there, and just the way that she handles it, where she just comes in with that shotgun and just starts going fucking crazy. I just really liked it. I mean, it was handled in minutes, but it's just really a great scene there. So, to me, like I said, that's probably one of my favorites in the entire movie, is when she just comes in and just mercilessly is as fucking badass as hell, I gotta say. Lucy is probably my favorite character. And let me see. So let me go into more things. I already mentioned the apparition. But yeah, I'd say that not only is Lucy my favorite character, not only because, she's badass and things, but I mean, she's really the one you feel the most for. I mean, you feel for all of the people involved, all the people that have been held captive and all this stuff. But, she's a character that, like, a lot of revenge films, you want to see her pay them back and stop those things that are going on. And so, and I don't know, it's just really sad as well, obviously, because when you get to see her have kind of like these breakdowns and stuff, kind of recalling what she'd been through, the torment that she'd had to have endured, it's pretty, yeah. So, I mean, it's got a lot of badass moments. It's got really sad ones, too. And that's especially, like I had to say for the spoilers, when she basically kills herself. I mean, I didn't even recall that happening. So the second time viewing it surprised me as well, because it's been so long since I've watched it. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really expect that also out of revenge films. I should have probably mentioned that before spoilers, what makes it sort of special. But I feel like that is another thing that kind of makes it special. It's not just someone going and getting revenge and it's, a clear-cut thing. It's, the person getting revenge, she gets revenge, but it ends up not being enough. And she pretty much succumbs to the torment and stuff and pretty much kills herself from that, which is really sad. And, it sucks to see at least, a favorite character, like the character at least I was rooting for, have that kind of end met. But let's go into the next notes here. Yeah, things get really bad, though, and I'd say more so on the disturbing side when the group shows up, when the organization ends up showing up later on. And that's another, like, kind of surprising thing. I remember when I first viewed it, I didn't know where it was going to go, because, I mean, I thought, she's going there to get revenge, but it's not a movie where the revenge was played out and drawn out. It was done quickly. And so then it kind of gave me the impression, like, well, maybe now it's going to be them trying to cover up their crime. But it didn't end up being that either, because, yeah, they started doing that, but then things just get fucking crazy, because then, yeah, she ends up killing herself, and then before any other move can be kind of met by Anna to escape or get out of there, surprisingly, that organization shows up and then makes things a hell of a lot fucking worse, sadly. And so, yeah, they end up pretty much torturing Anna then, and explaining that there's different stages to this torture that they have for her to endure. And that's, like I said, where, at least to me, most of the disturbing quality comes in. I mean, the beginning scene's pretty disturbing, just because it's sad to see, a kid going through crazy shit like that. But also having to see Anna then have to endure what Lucy did is pretty horrible too. And just the cruel way it was done. The unflinching cruelty is, to me, like I said, what gives it its edge, what gives the movie the qualification that it's known for. But essentially, what's also crazy is then it explains kind of the title of the movie through that, when they explain these different stages that they put these people through. And it's in order to pretty much make them a martyr, if you will, for our sins, for the sins of the world, and to basically try to push them through these stages to ascend sort of beyond, and to kind of like get them into a state where they're dead but not dead, where they're still alive but they're able to basically see what is beyond the realm of the living. And a true martyr, as this organization calls them, would be someone who witnesses what that other world would be, and then their hope was to basically verbally be told what is sought, what is seen on the other side. And so Anna ends up being the one to convey those things, and conveys it to pretty much the head woman who is leading this group. And then basically, obviously, the true answer, this truth that this group has wanted so fucking badly and done all these things for all this time, ends up not being a very good one, apparently, because then she ends up committing suicide. So the truth she could not handle, as apparently is a running theme for a lot of different movies and books and things. The truth is something you don't want to find out, I guess. So I guess in a way she sort of got her due in the end, but in a way also maybe she should have had, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say an eye for an eye kind of thing, but it's pretty horrible to see the people put through what they did, and then the main person that's heading that thing just gets out of it quickly. But yeah, I guess really that's all the things I'd have to cover. Like I said, the disturbing edge comes from the cruelty. It's well acted and stuff. Lucy's a really awesome character and everything else. So yeah, I really like this movie. It was a good one. Hopefully you guys will check it out. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. I'm not sure what film I'll be picking next, if it'll just be kind of a regular horror film, or if I'll choose another disturbing one. But I hope that you're all having a wonderful, amazing, great day. And I will see you guys next time. Peace, folks. Have an awesome one.